Hello, everyone. Sorry, we've had a little bit of technical issues and everything here, but it's Thursday, July the 11th, and thank you for being with us. And we're going to go through a bunch of stuff here pretty quickly. But we've had a DOH worker that's been struck by a vehicle. Just to be perfectly honest, just going too fast, not paying attention. I've said over and over and over, but we've got hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of workers that are out there on our highways. They're trying to do everything in their power to make things better for all of us. We got to watch what we're doing. The driver of this pickup truck as well as the worker, are still at Ruby and at WVU, and we're told things are better, but I don't think we're out of the woods yet, and just a tragic accident. That one of our workers just running a mowing machine, just doing his job. I mean, don't they deserve in every way, to be able to pick up their dinner bucket, go to work, and come home safe and sound? That's dependent upon us in a lot of ways. So let's be really, really, really careful, and let's say our prayers in every way for these individuals, and that they'll have a speedy recovery. This one, if we don't watch out, is going to just spin off into no man's land. But today I'm really, really proud to announce that our trigger amount, we did hit a trigger amount, and it's not 3%, it's 4%. And so you will absolutely be getting a 4% reduction in your income tax. I'm calling everybody back in. And the reason I'm calling them back in is I want them to be able to do another 5%. Another 5% gets us at 30, in fact, a little above 30. And so we're a third of the way almost home and everything. And there is nothing, no matter what anybody says, I don't care what you say 10 million times, there is nothing that's going to drive population, opportunity, economic growth, on and on and on and on and on to this great state more than getting rid of our personal income tax. Now, with that being said, and again, I'm not casting stones. I don't have time to do this. If you think in my life that I have time to fool up with Eric Tarr, you're out of your minds. That's all there is to it. It's just not worth the time of day for me to get in a food fight with Eric Tarr. Now, all that being said, here's the thing, and you're going to have to make the decision, legislature. That's just all there is to it. You can either entrust in what our great people in our revenue department have done over and over and over, and what I've done since I walked in the door, or you can entrust in this man that has led us down path after path after path that has caused all kinds of issues and all kinds of problems, and he wasn't right, was he? I mean, we went through the CARES money. Oh, gosh, the sky's falling. Wasn't right. We went through Amendment 2 when really and truly it would have destroyed our counties. One right after another, it would have destroyed. And literally, he was running through the woods, campaigning in every way. We're going to do this, and we're going to on and on and on. And then 6 weeks before the election, I went out and talked to you, the voters, and literally told you what was on the line. And whether it was your police departments or your fire departments or your schools or whatever, your services in every way, you absolutely were on the verge of a catastrophe. And we turned it around. And absolutely it got shot right out of the sky. In all honesty, probably way back when, he may have even been against the Roads to Prosperity program. But with all that being said, now, we went down a path, and he jumped up and he gets on his soapbox and he tries to convince everybody in the world, and here's the net of the whole thing. He was wrong on the income tax reduction. Absolutely, he was wrong on the clawback from the education, from the feds on the education side. Oh, gosh, we're going to have to absolutely send $375 million or whatever it was, a gigantic amount, back to the federal government. Didn't have to do it. We did not have to do it. Didn't work out. Wrong again. You know, but I am telling you, legislature, you listen to me. I'm going to only be your governor another 5 or 6 months. And at the end of the day, if you make the decision to follow Eric Tarr, follow him. Follow him. And absolutely be prepared. You might as well buckle up because it's going to be one difficult ride. I have no earthly idea why we continue to do this and why it continues to come right back up on me. Now just think about this just for 1 second. You got to remember just one thing, and I wrote this down somewhere. I want to make sure. Do y'all know who the Center on Budget and Policy, who those groups are, who those folks are? They're about as liberal and crazy as crazy can be. Who are they touting right now? Eric Tarr. So if you want to follow him, follow him. I mean, I'm not going to be here. Follow him if that's what you want to do. If you want to blow your own legs off and you want to hurt Toby and Edith, the voters out there, that absolutely it's their money, and we absolutely know without any doubt in the world we can do this and do it safely and do it prudently in every single way. We know it. We know it. If you want to follow this man, follow him. You know, that's your deal. That's not my deal. But absolutely, I would buckle up if you go that way. You know, I'm excited today. Now I'm going to switch channels again to announce that our DNR is going to have they're accepting applications right now for a very special archery hunt. And that's going to be at the Twin Falls Resort State Park. And one lucky hunter is going to win something that's really special and going to end up on national television. They're going to join the Whitetail Frenzy TV crew and be able to go on that hunt as well. And I'm sure that'll be a big time. And Brett, I'm going to turn to you and Kenny, and maybe you can tell us some more about this.
Well, Governor, thank you for having us today, and I tell you what, I'm really excited about your program here. This is going to be an absolute dandy. The partnership that we've made with Whitetail Frenzy is really paying off. You'll remember recently we did that youth turkey hunt, and what a success that thing was. Kenny Davis and his crew at Whitetail Frenzy are truly superstars. But yeah, the lottery drawings open up July 15th, and when folks log into their account, resident or non-resident, you'll have several options to choose from this year, not only the 4 state park lottery hunts, but we also open up all of our Class N or antlerless hunts at the same time. So just pay attention to which ones you are logging into and applying for that application. There's 4 state park hunts this year. The one we're focusing on today is Twin Falls, but we'll also have hunts at Beach Fork, Bluestone, and Cacapon. Those things have proved to be tremendously successful over the last several years in helping us to control the herd. Well, this year we're doing something a little special. As a matter of fact, Kenny Davis applied for a hunt last year at Twin Falls, fell in love with the hunt, came to us with this idea, and of course then we brought it to you, and it's a dandy. He has put together one heck of a prize package, and I think Kenny's going to join us also. Hopefully we can get him up on the screen pretty soon because, Governor, he has absolutely blown this out of the water with the prizes that he acquired for this thing. Not only is that lucky hunter going to get to be on TV, he'll get his meals, rooms taken care of at Twin Falls, and then there is a huge prize package, and I think we'll see him pretty soon here. Those particular packages will be available. There's 15 hunts that we're going to draw the names for, and then out of those 15 winners, we'll bring the names in, and hopefully, Governor, you can draw that lucky one out for us because whoever gets this one, I'm a little jealous. I'll say that up front. Kenny, are you out there? There he is.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Awesome, awesome. Welcome again. We're bragging you up pretty hard. I know you sent us a picture of the prize list that you have now. I don't know if that's something you can pan the camera around to, but we're excited to see it. I've told them how you fell in love with the hunt from last year, so talk just a little bit to us, and let's see those prizes and what this hunt's going to entail.
Well, yeah, it's a huge prize pack. Little too much to bring into the office, but I can pull it up and show you here. There's a lot a lot of different things on there. I don't know if you can see that there, Brett. Get it in the
A
screen
little
there.
hard to see. You can just give us a rundown of what's there then, if you
Yeah,
can.
there's a lot in this prize pack. You know, we all of our sponsors were on board with this, and they all jumped in. I mean, the winner's going to get their choice of whatever their elite bow of choice. They're going to get a Killer Instinct, a Vital X crossbow, a Fission e-bike, a 750X, I believe is the model, and those retail for around $2,600. Some whitetail trail mix, some lethal addiction, a trophy tree stand, lip curl scents, scent assassin, scent elimination kit, a scent blocker suit. I mean, this is a prize pack worth several $1,000s. And then the Twin Falls Resort State Park is incredible. Like you said, I've been in West Virginia my whole life, but the first time I ever went was last year, and I love that place. The golf course is beautiful, the scenery is beautiful, the lodge, the cottages, everything is just awesome. And it's right in the heart of our bow hunting only county. So it's not just a state park where normally people can't hunt. It's a state park that's part of an area where there's only a 1 buck limit and everything surrounding it. And it's, bow hunting only unless, class Q, which you can hunt with a crossbow. But yeah, excited. We're excited to do it. Excited to be partner with the state and do stuff like this and give back to the people here.
Well, thank you, Kenny. That's absolutely awesome. And we're excited to see this thing. So we'll get the lottery opened up on the 15th. And then when that baby closes, we'll try to get those 15 finalists that are actually selected through the ELS system and go from there. And Governor, I would like to share, I believe 11 out of 13 Kenny shows are in West Virginia this year. Next year, we really hope he does all 13 in West Virginia. So he's drinking the water. He believes that West Virginia has everything he needs. So I'm pretty excited to share that little tidbit as well. Also, Governor, just a quick mention. You referenced National Hunting and Fishing Days a while back. Tickets are on sale now. We're encouraging everyone to buy early. We've got a little pre-sale bonus. If you buy your tickets early, and that's people that are 15 and over, under 15 are free, because we're trying to encourage as many youth to come to these events as possible. But anyone over 15 that buys their ticket early gets 5 free tickets for the Taste of West Virginia State Parks tent, which has been a really great feature. Chef Matt Welch, believe me, these tickets are for samples, but for me, they're a meal. So it is a dandy. A couple of other great things back this year: the Outdoor Youth Challenge, bigger and better prizes. Drawing will be at 4 o'clock for all the final prizes. Kids, you do not have to be present to win. Just make sure we've got your info. It's going to be an absolute blast. We've got over 30 vendors this year. Frankly, I hate to say it, but we've got more vendors than we can actually handle. So this is awesome. The turnout and response has been great. So we'll also hope to see Kenny from Whitetail Frenzy, Curtis Fleming from Fly Rod Chronicles, Ted and Amber Nestor from The Chase on site as well. So, Governor, that's stacking up to be a monumental event this year. So thank you, Governor. I appreciate the opportunity to be here, and thank you for all you do for us. I can't tell you how much DNR appreciates your belief in this state of West Virginia and our natural resources. Thank you.
Well, Brett, thank you, and Kenny, thank you guys, and all those that Brett mentioned earlier and everything, whether it be Curtis and on and on and on, Chad. And so it's great stuff, and all of you know that I speak from my heart on everything, but especially speak from my heart on all the great work that our DNR's done and all the absolute necessity that we all need to be able to get outdoors in this great state and enjoy this unbelievable nature. And I've said over and over and over, please go. It'll touch your soul. It's so, so good. So please just try to get out and get on one of our streams or our lakes, or absolutely get into our woods and just enjoy, because it's amazing. It's truly amazing. Okay, I'm going to switch channels again, and today I'm announcing the distribution of $5.38 million in grant awards for some really important projects and everything throughout West Virginia. The first one was the West Virginia Child Advocacy Center has been awarded $2.1 million and everything to 22 different projects. It's really, really great stuff. The West Virginia National Criminal History Improvement Program has been awarded $2.4 million. And finally, the Civil Legal Services Grant award is $800,000. So thanks again for all the great work that these great folks do. God bless each and every one of you. Just keep doing good stuff. Here's something that's really neat, but we went up in Clay County, and we all know Clay County is a beautiful county for absolutely certain, and the people there are unbelievably just so genuine and so just absolutely the real deal, and they're caring, loving, great people. And so with all that being said, the last greatest thing was this rail, bike, trail, and everything, and I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but being able to go, these vehicles are electric, they move on the rail, you can pedal, but at the same time, if you choose to just sit back and watch and everything and look around and everything, you don't have to do that. They're motorized, from an electric standpoint to be able to go on their own, but what a way to spend some beautiful time with your family, seeing the unbelievable scenery of this state. And so with all that being said, today I'm announcing, I get this, this thing just got fired up about a month and a half ago, and we were there and did the ribbon cutting and everything, on that day. But today I'm announcing that we are adding even more tours and increasing the bike capacity from 36 to 60 people to keep up with the demand. The demand is unflat believable, and it's booked up, but now we have some additional capacity and everything. So get up in Clay County, enjoy. It's right out your back door here and everything. And if you want to go spend some quality time with your family, that's where you need to go. But Rail Explorers is expanding in Clay County. Absolutely remember that name. Go online, contact these people, and get up there in Clay County and enjoy. I'm going to move to something else, but the HCEAA matching funds. Later today, I'll be in Kanawha County at the Ambulance Authority, there and everything, to award $1 million in non-federal matching funds. And this funding will be used to build 4 permanent EMS stations around Kanawha County that will improve the response time. It'll just make us better. It absolutely will make us better. It'll save lives and everything. It absolutely will make anything and everything we can possibly do better in great Kanawha County. So we'll be there, and we'll be there at 2 o'clock. And, we all know that in an emergency, every second matters, and we're going to have 4 spots to be able to make things even more accessible and better. Okay, I am also thrilled today to make welcome to Nancy White as the new West Virginia Department of Education president. Nancy has a 36-year career. She's a great lady, and I congratulate her in every way. She'll do great stuff. She loves our kids, and she loves education and all the good stuff that's happening in West Virginia, and I congratulate her again and tell her, Nancy, just keep moving us forward and keep making more and more goodness happen. Not long ago, I guess it was last week, we were with a dive team, and we were at Bluestone Lake, and right above the Bluestone Dam. It was a wonderful experience from the standpoint that West Virginia now has its own dive team, and that dive team has 10 very experienced people and everything, and they'll be able to help make things better in every way in the state of West Virginia from the standpoint of just more safety, more ability to investigate a boating accident, more, which God forbid, but, if a loved one we've lost somebody from a drowning and whatever, we'll be able to recover quicker. So with all that being said, we congratulate the DNR. They continue to do great stuff. And so good stuff happening there as well. So that's all I've got. We'll take your questions.
All right, thank you, Governor. Now we'll take questions from members of the media. First up today, Mark Curtis with Nexstar Media.
Good afternoon, Governor, and my colleagues. Governor, there was an article in the Wall Street Journal this morning, not very flattering, concerning the Omnis Energy purchase of the Pleasance Power Station and converting it to a facility that would produce hydrogen from coal and graphite for lithium batteries and the sort. It just questions whether the science is there or can support this. It hasn't been demonstrated yet that this technology can be used. So I'm just curious, what is your confidence level in this project? And do you still hope it goes forward, given the fact that West Virginia has loaned the company $50 million to get it off the ground?
Mark, my confidence is just this, and what the $50 million was structured around. The $50 million was structured around the plant's profitability from the standpoint of they buy coal from West Virginians, and absolutely they keep 200 folks plus employed in Pleasant County. You keep the plant running, and you make electricity. Now, from all that being said, they have the obligation and everything, to as far as repayment, and we'll see. As far as the new technology and whatever like that, that was just a bonus to me. I have told the powers to be that we're involved and everything. I've said beware and watch 15,000 times. And with all that being said, to me, the security that we have behind all this is rock solid. And really and truly, if we could be on the cutting edge to bringing the hydrogen era right here up to speed in this nation world and everything, it would be great. But from my standpoint, what did the mathematics need to be centered around? It needed to be centered around the fact that we were going to keep people in coal jobs, we were going to buy coal, and we were going to make electricity, and we were going to sell electricity. And we were going to continue to employ 200 plus folks in Pleasance County. So I think we've done the right thing, and time will tell about whether or not the hydrogen situation works out and the science works out. I've tried to be not necessarily skeptical, but I don't believe in just somebody coming in and trying to sell you a pie in the sky. That's why we have all these safeguards and backups.
All right, thank you, Mark. Let's now take a question from John Mark Shaver with WV News.
Good afternoon, Governor. Talking about the Eastern Panhandle, do you have any advice for people, or is your office planning on doing anything in terms of a statement on that? Thanks.
CJ, I can't hear Mark at all.
Yeah, Mark, John Mark, can you ask your question one more time for the governor, please?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
I can now.
Okay. I have a question about the drought happening statewide, especially over there in the Eastern Panhandle. Can you hear me?
I can, yes, sir.
Okay. I just wanted to know if your office had any statements regarding that, what people should be doing, how they should be interacting in the summer months outside and with the dry weather. Thank you.
Well, John Mark, listen, I started my whole work career in agriculture, of all things. It was really not intended that way, but I got my MBA, and then later on I became a farmer. And then we increased our farming activities to, at one time, we were the biggest cash grain farmers east of the Mississippi River. I know an awful lot about the effects of dry weather. Right now, our crops are are being negatively impacted in a big way. I know the effects on, 95 or 99 degree heat on us, and what a toll it takes. I know the fact that we absolutely are suffering like a lot of this nation is, under this unbelievable heat that we're experiencing and everything. There are forest advisories, there's everything that's out there at our fingertips to kind of halfway know what to do. But here's the problem, John Mark, and it's just this, is you got a lot of folks in West Virginia don't have any air conditioning, and you've got folks that, if you have a power outage and everything, it just compounds the situation no matter what the situation may be. We as West Virginians, of all things, right now best better be, joining arms together and trying to help our neighbors in every way we possibly can. Because we don't watch out, it can get really, really tough. We're not to the real heat of the summer yet, if you really think about it. It always seemed to me like August was the tough time. Like the first week of January may be the toughest time in winter. But with all that being said, it's really, really tough. From the standpoint of way over in the Eastern Panhandle, you've got all the poultry, people that are over there. Can you just imagine how difficult that is, from the standpoint of, whether it be chickens or turkeys or whatever it may be, from the standpoint of our animals that such as our cattle, or, it's just tough. That's all there is to it, and we got to really watch and hope and pray for some from blessings of some real rain, because we really need the rain.
All right, thank you, John Mark. Let's now take a question from Stephen Adams with Ogden News.
Yeah, Steve Adams of Ogden Newspapers here. I was going to ask about the Pleasance Power thing, but that's been done. So that 4% trigger, how official is that number? Because you all aren't really supposed to figure out that number to August, and I know it's based partially on the inflation rate. That could certainly change by August as well. So, do you see much fluctuation in that trigger percentage, or do y'all feel pretty solid it's going to stay at 4%? Thank you.
From what I'm told, Stephen, the inflation rate is published and the trigger is 4%. So, for what I know, and unless someone's made a mistake or whatever, for what I know, we're at 4%. And the only other thing, Stephen, that I would add is just this is, what I'm asking for is don't stop at 4%. I mean, for crying out loud, let's bump this thing another 5. We can do it. The approximate cost is going to be somewhere from as low as maybe 115 million to as high as maybe 150 million. But I don't know that exact number yet. But I'm betting that it's probably going to be 130 or 135 million. So what I would do this, as just a breath of additional caution, in every way. What I would do is I would either take that 130 or 135, whatever it is, and I would take 130 or 135 out of the surplus dollars we have now and add it to our income tax reserve fund that's sitting there at $400 and some odd million and earning interest every day and everything, and put even some more money in. And if that's not enough and you really wanted to be even more, comfortable, then double it. Put 270 million in it. And with what you've already earned in interest, you'd be right at $700 million in a reserve fund that if we stubbed our toes somewhere down the road, my goodness gracious sakes, we have every ounce of protection you could ever want. Now with that, well, why? Then why would someone like Eric Tarr try to be shooting this down? Why would they try to be doing that? And I can tell you the answer, and the answer is so simple, as simple could possibly be, and that is just this. They have their own pet projects, and they absolutely want to put away as many dollars as they possibly can and do these pet projects that I've refused to do. Now, Stephen, it's as simple as mud to me. First and foremost, we all know the lower we take our personal income tax, the more people will come, the more opportunity will come. We know that, for crying out loud. Every state in the world knows that. Now we know that. The next thing is just this, is we know from all the experts in revenue and everything that are here, we know we can do this. Well, then why don't we do it? Why in the world don't we do it? It's the people's money. It's not our money. And we know inflation is eating our lunch right now because of the Biden administration. We know that, don't we? Why don't we do it? I mean, and if we want to turn our back on the voters, and we want to do that right now, more power to them. From the standpoint of me doing something that politically is good for me, I don't need to do that. Stephen, I'm going to win. I don't need to do that. And I'm not only going to win, I'm going to win big, big, big. I don't need this for me. Stephen, absolutely, I'm just trying to do one thing, and that's help West Virginia. And really and truly, at the end of the day, if we want to listen to Eric Tarr, then tell them to listen to Eric Tarr. For crying out loud, you'll see what will happen.
All right, thank you, Stephen. Let's now go to Brad McElhaney with West Virginia Metro News.
Hi, Governor. Hope you're well. Hey, as a matter of conversation, are you going to the Republican National Convention next week? You're going to take your dog? What do you think you might talk about? Tell me a little about that. But hey, here's my actual question, the more formal question. Hundreds of tracts owned by the justice companies are up for auction this week in Raleigh, Monroe, and McDowell counties because of unpaid property taxes that would normally go to support services like schools. Can you provide an explanation about what's going on with those unpaid taxes? Thank you.
Brad, I really and truly don't even know why we continue to take your questions. At the end of the day, it's like a constant barrage over my family stuff. And at the end of the day, it seems to always get worked out, and my job is to be your governor. That's my job. And that's what I do. That's what I do all the time. Now, Brad, if you want to continue on this absolute mission from God to attack our families' businesses and everything, to be perfectly honest as I know how to be, I don't know one thing about the question that you've asked about. And I can tell that to God above right now, to God above, absolutely with all in me. I don't know anything about that, Brad. And in all honesty, every single time, it seems like that Jay and Jill seem to absolutely rise to the forefront, and they have problems just like any business in the land. They have opted out to employ thousands of people. I think they do a pretty dadgum good job. I say this not egotistically, but I just say this in what my heart would tell you, that Brad, if I'd never been your governor and all I'd have been doing every day would have been concentrating on those businesses, it would have probably been a whole lot easier on our family. But I chose not to do that. I chose to do exactly what our forefathers did. Step up and serve. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. And so with all that being said, Brad, I just wish to goodness that you would report something that was really the big stuff. You know, how much reporting did you do over something that literally everybody thought the sky's falling is the worst. It's the worst of the worst. The Carter Bank issue. The Carter Bank issue absolutely was a gigantic issue, and it took a lot of work by a lot of folks. It went on for a year, and I told you over and over and over what the outcome would be, and lo and behold, is exactly what the outcome would be. Everything's good in the neighborhood. You know, we were selling the Greenbrier, we were selling the sporting club, we were doing this, we were doing that, and everything else and everything. And I said, everybody calm down. Everybody just calm down. And Brad, what did you do? You ran every day and every day and every day because you relish in this. I don't get it. I don't get it, you know. And at the end of the day, I think what we should be doing is just naturally, if we have a big time problem, you know, I would tell you report it all day long. I don't run from that in any way, you know. But I don't know why you seem to be on a mission from God to try to just dig up something and dig up some level of dirt and everything when we've got all this goodness that we've had. It's we should celebrate, and we should absolutely be moving forward. Thank you.
Governor, back to you.
Okay. You know what my feelings are? Surely you do, from the standpoint of the personal income tax. More than anything, I guess, you know, I want your prayers for this DOH worker and the fellow that was involved in the accident with the truck as well. You know, West Virginia is showing, and has been showing now for years, but great growth. I want to keep the momentum going. You know, it's really important. Someone asked, maybe it was Brad, you know, that asked about, you know, am I going to the convention? I am, you know, and that's where we'll leave it at this time. But I think that's all I've got, you know, and on the you know, the work that we decided to do at the Pleasance Power Plant, you know, may not work out. That hydrogen may not be at our fingertips right now. May work out that we change the world, but absolutely we are running a power plant there with 200 people in jobs, and we're absolutely helping our coal miners to be able to mine coal, and we're making electricity that, for God's sakes of living, we desperately need, especially when it's 99 degrees outside and we got people really hurting. So we're going to continue to keep trying to do the right thing. Thank y'all.